taking a look at the iPhone 6s Plus's box, we see a huge change from the original iPhone 6 box. There's so much more color involved and just way more pleasing to the eye, a little fish on the top, and it's really cute to me. So on the box, we will see an Apple logo on the top and the bottom of the box, and the name of the device on both sides. Now ripping into this bad boy with my very dull knife, I must add, we're going to open the case, take off the top, and we are greeted with a very pretty and very shiny iPhone 6s Plus. Moving away from the top section, we will find some very familiar components. We have the Apple earbuds, the wall power adapter, as well as the lightning cable we have seen with the past few Apple devices. Now on the back of the initial tab that we pulled off at the beginning, you'll find 2 Apple stickers as well as some manuals, but really who uses those and who needs those anyways? Taking a look around the device, it is a very familiar look and feel. On the left side, we have our silent switch, and right under that with our volume buttons. On the bottom, on the left is going to be a 3.5mm headphone jack with the mic right next to that. Then the lightning cable port is going to be in the middle to charge and connect to iTunes, and right next to that we have the speaker. On the right side, all we see, like the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, is going to be just the power button. Coming from the iPhone 6, I can definitely see the difference as far as size goes, but if you're coming from the iPhone 6 Plus and going into the 6s Plus, you shouldn't notice anything but maybe a little bit more weight. This is of course due to the components added to make 3D Touch work in the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus. One of the main features that we just mentioned, which I'm pretty sure everyone is already familiar with, is 3D Touch. In the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, there is a pressure-sensitive screen that can tell the difference between a light touch to a hard press. This can help us out and make things faster in many different places on the phone. For example, we can press hard on the camera icon and it will bring up a quick menu where we can either take a selfie, record a video, record slow-mo, or take a regular picture. You should definitely take note though that this current moment in time, 3D Touch quick menus are really only going to work for iPhone stock apps and apps like Instagram, Facebook, some of the bigger ones. In the coming months, of course, app developers will surely start rolling out updates that supports 3D Touch, where then you can use the full effect of this function. Taking a further look into 3D Touch, Apple's also introduced something that they like to call peek and pop. For example, let's just say someone texts you a location. You can press in a little bit to get a little preview, which is the peek, or you can press even harder on that link to actually open the page and see the entire map, see everything that you need to in the Maps application. The same thing works in emails. For example, you can press down lightly to get a little preview of the email, or you can press down a little bit harder to get the entire message. Now, speaking of more internals, and something that I'm most excited about is that we now have an A9 chip to our disposal, which means better gaming on your phone, as well as not having to worry about your device crashing or slowing down while you're multitasking. Now on paper, you will get about 70% faster CPU power and 90% faster GPU. Now just navigating around the device, I can really tell the difference between the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus. Now there's really no delay or input lag when I'm trying to switch apps or perform certain tasks on the device, which is fantastic. Now, if you're thinking about rocking your new iPhone without a screen protector or case, which I highly recommend that you get them, then you're going to be in luck if you decide not to. With the 6 Plus, we're now going to have a 7000 series aluminum, which is the solution to make it not only stronger, but also get rid of the whole Bendgate fiasco last year with the iPhone 6. Also on the front, we have an ion strengthening glass found also on the Apple Watch, which is going to be more scratch and shatter resistant. If you want though, you can find many videos right now of people testing the limits of the phones, breaking them, dropping them, bending them, all that good stuff. Looking at the back of the phone, you may not see a huge difference physically, but the camera has been upgraded from 8 to 12 megapixels, which is a pretty significant jump. Now you're now able to capture 4K video at 30 FPS and even 1080p slow-mo video at 120 FPS. Now keep in mind though that if you opted into getting the 16GB version of the 6S, just remember that a minute of video with either of these settings will eat up some of your precious memory. Now they didn't forget about the front-facing camera though. You can now take crispier selfies with an upgrade from 1.5 megapixels to 5 for the front-facing camera. For me, that means better Snapchats for you guys. Live photos is another pretty cool addition which can be turned on. This will capture a 1.5 seconds before you take the picture and a 1.5 seconds after you take the picture. You can view this GIF-like image by simply pushing a little bit harder on the screen using 3D Touch. Also keep in mind though that this feature also takes up a little bit more space when you're just having a picture. Just take a regular picture if you want, but turn on this feature if you want to kind of experiment with it. And the last thing I wanted to mention in this review isn't anything new, but it's been a huge upgrade. Now I'm sure you've already experimented with this if you have the phone, but the fingerprint sensor is now lightning fast, like crazy fast. So really all it takes for you is just a super short hold and it instantly reads your fingerprint. Now the old sensor on my iPhone 6, or you might experience the same thing, it took maybe a second or longer to read it, and it rarely read it the first time. So this time it completely changes the ballgame, and I can pretty much unlock my phone before it even comes out of my pocket.